A very good afternoon to all the learners. And sir, I once again take the privilege of hosting you. And as you can see, you have gathered a huge fan following amongst our learners. They are like always looking forward to attend your session and get the insights about the knowledge that you're sharing on the Vedic culture that we have somehow long lost it. So today also, as we begin this webinar, and we know the topic that you are shedding light on is on Vedic astrology and Vedic architecture. I am sure all of our learners are equally excited to know more about it. Vedas and Upanishads are one of the branches that gives us so much of insights about how to rule our life. And having you on our webinar with all your knowledge and shared experience with our learners makes it even more interesting. So without further delay, I welcome you, sir. Quickly, I'll give your introduction to any of our new joinee. So our speaker is Mr. Lothar Pirc. He is the CEO and owner of Maharshi Ayurveda Health Center from Bedams, Germany. Sir, I welcome you once again, and I open the dice for you to take forward.
Namaste. Thank you so much for the nice introduction. And I'm greeting all the learners today. And before I start, I would like to thank Dr. Patil University and the Center of Online Learning, because this is really pioneering that a college for students of business administration get to know about Vedic sciences. And most people wouldn't have thought what kind of benefits the leaders of a company, the employees, and also the company as a whole can get from applying the Vedic knowledge. In the first few sessions, we have been talking about the Maharshi Corporate Development Program and Transcendental Meditation, how to unfold consciousness and creativity. Then we have gone into the various aspects of Ayurveda, the science of healthy, long life. And we have gained many practical tips. And those who have joined only today, I would really invite them to look at the YouTubes later on. And today is the sixth and the final lesson for this year, creating good fortune for the individual and the company with the support of Vedic astrology, Jyotish, and also Vedic architecture, Sthapatya Veda. So now I'm going to share my screen and go with you through the presentation. Can you see the screen now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we may think that the luck of a life only depends on what we do, but the planets and the stars, they have a very big influence on our life. In fact, in the ancient astrology said that we are completely governed by the influence of the planets in our solar system. And Jyotish means inner light. And this is the knowledge to give us the light when we have problems, when we are in the dark, where we don't know where to go. And through the research we have found, especially the research that was inspired by my teacher, His Holiness Maharshi Mahesh Yogi, who was guiding his now successor, Dr. Tony Neder, a very renowned neurologist, medical doctor, to look into the structure of the Vedas and compare it with the structure of our human physiology. And as we will see later, the planets, they are not only outside, but they have their partners in our body in certain aspects of our physiology. And we are connected with the whole universe. Everything that is outside, we know from all the cultures, is also found inside. And when we look into Jyotish, then we may think now, is this some esoteric knowledge? Why should we deal as a student of business administration with astrology? The thing is, in Jyotish and in the Vedic literature, the purpose of Jyotish is called Heyam Dukkam Anagatam. Avoid the danger that has not yet come. And the basic components of Vedic astrology are the 9 planets, the grahas, the 12 constellations or rashis, the 12 houses, the bhavas, and 27 nakshatras, invariable fixed star combinations. And at the moment when we are born, all these planets and constellations, they have a very unique position. And that position is only once at this part where we are born, at this minute. And that shows our relationship with the universe. So here we see now the planets, the sun, the moon, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, Shani, Saturn, and the northern lunar node and the southern lunar node. These are the main planets that we consider in Jyotish. And then we have the 12 signs of the zodiac. You may have heard about it. The Sanskrit names are Mesha, Vrishab, Mithun, Karka, Simha, Kanya, Tula, Vrishika, Danu, Makara, Kumbh, and Meena. And when a person is born, then all the planets, they have a very specific place where they stand when we are born. And this shows also the dignity of a planet. You know, if a planet is positioned in a place where it has a lot of power, then the good qualities of the planet, they can be unfolded. And this has a lot to do with our practical life. I would need actually a couple of hours to explain you the principles, but I have only 1 hour to go with you through 2 very precious parts of Vedic science. One is the Jyotish and one is the Sthapatya Veda. So I have to only glimpse it a little bit. Then we have the 12 houses or bhavas, and these represent the areas of our life. The first house, the first house is now our personality as a whole. The second represents the family. The third, our brothers and sisters. The fourth, our mother and the house that we have and vehicles we may have. House number 5 represents our own children and the spiritual techniques that we are deserving to learn in this lifetime. 6th house represents the enemies. 7th, our life partner and also business partners. The 8th house is for transition. The 9th house is the house of Dharma and good luck. Dharma means the natural duty. Number 10 is our career and profession. And number 11 is the house of gain and wealth. And number 12 is the house of losses. And through the research of Dr. Neda, it was found that the right and the left hemispheres of our brain, they are also representing the different houses. Now, in the houses, we find all areas of life. And when we are born, at the moment when a specific sign is rising on the horizon, this is the first house. And then it takes about 2 hours to go through one sign and also to one house. And the planets, they can be considered to be our cosmic counterparts. They are found in the brain. And in the next chart, we go a little bit deeper. You see The sun is found in the center. It's represented by the thalamus, the moon by the hypothalamus, and so on. And they all have their structure and function like in the specific areas of the brain. And we are connected with that. And at the moment we are born, from the Jyotish chart, from the horoscope, we can see our strengths and also our weaknesses. And we can calculate when are good times to come for specific things and when there are things coming which may not so good. And what we need for Jyotish to know, to get a horoscope and to get a reading, is of course a good Jyotishi. And Maharshi Mahesh Yogi also has revived this ancient science and put a very high standard on the training of the Jyotish experts. So what we need is the exact birth minute and the place of birth. And then the Jyotishi will go, after calculating the chart with you for all the areas of life, you know, families, partner, business, health, all the areas of life. And then we can see the strong points and the weak points. And we can also say that there is a big difference between Jyotish, which means Vedic astrology, and the Western astrology. As you know, the Earth is not, how should I say, the Earth is not straight, but it's a little bit, you know, not so straight in the position. And in fact, there is a difference of 22.3 degrees. And that is called in Jyotish Ayanamsha. And the Western astrology doesn't take this Ayanamsha into account. So the probability that you think you are this sign or this sign, or this how should I say, when you are born, what is rising on the horizon, that is the probability that you are something different than in Western astrology is 23.5 to 30 degrees. And that's really a lot. And this is very important to calculate what sign are you. And in Jyotish, it is more important how the moon is placed than the sun. And so we have a lot of things that we can calculate from Jyotish. And what is also very unique in Jyotish is that we can calculate the auspicious moments when it is good to get married or to start a company. You know, the moment we go to notary public and we sign the contract, that is calculated precisely according to Jyotish. And that's called Muhurta, and that is the auspicious moment. So there's certain activities which are under a good star. And even in the common world, the people, if somebody is or some enterprise is very successful, then they say this was ruled under a good star. And with Jyotish, we can exactly calculate if you want to start a company, if you want to choose partners, if you have a big initiative to open a new branch, then the Jyotishi can for you a very auspicious muhurta, and that will make a big difference for your luck. Just a moment. I'm sharing again. And then we have in Jyotish also what is unique, the muhurta system, the muhurta, the dasha system. And the dasha system is calculated, and that is not available in Western astrology, by the so-called nakshatras. These are 27 constellations that are invariable. And depending where your moon stands at the moment when you were born, it is calculated the lessons that you have to learn in different phases of your life. You see, when a child goes to school, there is a plan how it is learning mathematics, and when it's learning languages, and when it's learning physics. So there is a plan of learning, and every man has a very unique plan for his life, at what time, which area of life is to be enlivened. And if we are in accordance with that, then we will find that things will be easier and will be more successful. And if there is some unfortunate situation coming, some karma from the past, which may not be so good, then there are also remedies in Jyotish, and these remedies are called yagyas. Yagyas are Vedic ceremonies and Vedic recitations that are done by the Vedic Pandits, and Maharshi has trained the Pandits specifically to perform the yagyas from the level of Atma, from Para, the pure consciousness. So the Vedic Pandits, they have to be in a complete silence and unbounded awareness, and then the recitations are more powerful. And I can tell you from my own experience that I have been facing in my life, in my business life, for example, very big problems and challenges, also regarding my clinic. And it was really amazing to see how we could get help from the Vedic yagyas that were performed in India. So I'm telling you all this because you are soon the masters of business administration, and you should know that the most ancient knowledge of the world, the Vedic knowledge coming from India, the land of the Veda, it really can help you to make your business more successful. It can help you also to remove health problems. And it's a wonderful science. And I hope if there is interest next year to go deeper into the aspects, I would like to give 2 lessons just about the Jyotish. Now I will move on to the next topic. And this is another big branch of Vedic science, a very precious science, building for health and happiness for everybody, creating ideal housing in harmony with natural law. And Maharshi also revived that. Many things have been forgotten. For many things, compromises have been done in India. And like Maharshi enlivened Ayurveda and restored it in its completeness, he did the same thing for Sthapatya Vedas. He got the greatest Sthapatis from India, and they were translating all the ancient Sanskrit texts new again. And they created wonderful training courses to train architects in this great science of life. So the Sanskrit word Sthapan means to establish. And Veda, as you know already, means the knowledge of natural law or science. So Sthapatya Veda is the architecture from the Vedas to build in harmony with the laws of nature. So it's a precious Vedic technology for construction. And Sthapatya Veda is connecting our individual life with the cosmic life. It connects the individual intelligence through the cosmic intelligence. And there are many main textbooks here. We don't have the time to go into those at this moment. And the health and happiness and the fortune are influenced by the orientations of the buildings. So with reference to the sun and with reference to the earth, we have to orient the building. And the strongest influence of natural law comes from the sun. And the houses should be designed that the different energies of the sun corresponding to the specific functions and activities of each room. Then natural law always supports every aspect of our daily life. The study room, for example, should be located where the intellect will be most lively. And that is in the north. Now here you see a little overview. So the study room and the library should be in the north. The meditation room should be in the northeast. And the entrance is most auspicious in the east. The kitchen should be in the southeast. The dining should be in the south. The bedmaster room, the southwest, living room in the west, and the guest room in the northwest. You see, you may be wondering, why is that? But if you just look at our body, the heart has a special place, the liver has a special place. Every organ by nature has a specific place. And like that, nature also has designed for the different areas of life different directions where those particular activities are mostly supported. Now, a very important feature is where should the entrance be? What are auspicious and what are inauspicious influences due to the orientation of the buildings? Now, the west entrance is an influence or gives an influence of poverty and lack of creativity and loss. So the west entrance is inauspicious. Also inauspicious is northwest as an entrance because it gives an influence of instability to the mind. Auspicious is the pure north entrance. That gives an influence of prosperity and happiness. So that means the buildings should be oriented precisely on the north and south and east and western directions. And that can be seen by Google, for example, Google Earth, you can see that, how the directions of your buildings are. Then inauspicious is also northeast. It gives an influence of less of outer success. And very auspicious, the best entrance is the pure east entrance. That gives an influence of enlightenment, affluence, and fulfillment. Then the inauspicious entrance is southeast. It gives a feeling of constant fear. The south entrance is destructive and problems and suffering. And the southwest influence gives an influence of constant quarreling. There are certain principles, how to design the building, and they're completely according to symmetry and order. And we know from many cultures, ancient cultures in the past, that they also had this knowledge, how to build the pyramids, how to build the churches. And people don't know, many misfortunes and even diseases arise from a lack of proper orientations of the houses in which they live and work. And those can be inauspicious, negative influences, anger, aggression, constant fear, poverty, lack of vitality and success, and even chronic diseases. So everybody should live, and I hope in the future, in times also of Vedic civilization, we had all these principles completely implemented in society. And we would wish that everybody should live in a house according to ideal Vastu. And at least 75% of all building contribute, to the influence and also in society of bad Vastu. So that must be corrected. And we have seen through the research, just to understand it, that our brain cells, they are firing, the certain neurons that are firing constantly to the east. And therefore, when we are oriented to the east, then, the building is getting these positive vibrations also. And our brain naturally is firing, according to the different directions. There are billions of magnetes in the brain that make us sensitive towards the orientation. And you may have a look later at the video to see all the different areas of the brain to which directions they are related. It's like a compass in our brain. And so you may have heard about the sick building syndrome. That comes due to wrong building materials. It's a very known fact. But it also comes due to incorrect orientation and placement. And so we should avoid that. And as we are in a modern time, we also have a lot of research that was conducted to confirm and understand the principles of Vedic architecture. And there were statistics that were shown that when people it was published in the Journal of Social Behavior and Personality regarding the effects of orientations of houses. And they found that there were 75 more burglaries in homes with south entrances compared to homes with north, east, or west entrances. And the project conducted by a cardiologist in California revealed that 50% of his heart patients lived in homes with south entrances. A study published by the Journal of Affective Disorders reports that comparing inpatients assigned to rooms with eastern or western windows, those exposed to the eastern light, had a mean of 3.67 days shorter hospital stay than patients with western rooms. That means the eastern light is nourishing to us. And the people in hospitals with the eastern windows, they could be released more than 3 days earlier average than those with the western light influences. There are many more interesting studies, but I can't mention them all. And we know from the ancient Vedic principles that there is also something like a field effect that gives us protection. And in modern physics, we know the so-called Meissner effect, that the ordinary conductor on the left side, as you see here, is very disorderly, and the electromagnetic field, they penetrate it. Whereas the superconductor, seen on the right side, then the outer influences, the negative influences, they cannot disturb the systems. So we can understand it from all different points of view, principally, theoretically, and also the practical research. And even for city planning, Vastu is building all the different streets and the houses, as you can see on the right side, according to the principles. And that can be compared with the Meissner effect. On the left side, you see a little city like London or Paris, which is completely disorderly. And we believe that many of the crime and unsocial behavior is also influenced by the orientation of the city planning. There is a shield effect, just to mention that briefly. In California, there are houses that were built according to Vastu, Sthapatya Veda, and there was a big fire, and we could see that all the houses were burning through a big fire, but the Vastu houses, they were not touched by the fire. So maybe also later we can go into more detail about the study, just to briefly mention that. And it says in the Vedic sciences, as is the atom, so is the universe. As is the body, so is the cosmic body. The inner intelligence of everything is cosmic, and in such a way that it sustains every individual structure in nature. At the same time, permeating everything in creation, it sustains the holistic value of the universe, so that inner intelligence can function more smoothly. And I'm now actually in the Netherlands. I'm in a house, a new house that has been built according to the Vastu principles. And I can tell you that the quality of life is so much more pleasant and easy, and the meditations are even better here. And it just has a wonderful influence. You just have the feeling you're completely connected to nature, like you don't feel the walls anymore. I'll just give you now a few very nice examples. In Fairfield, Iowa, near that is what we call Maharshi Vedic City, where we have only Vastu houses. And it's a wonderful feeling of life on that campus. Then also in England, there is a Vedic village, Vedic garden village in Rendlesham, where about 150 houses are built according to Vastu, and they're going to expand soon. And this is where I'm now at the Maharshi European Research University. Maharshi is home for the last 18 years of his life. And what you here see is the master plan. About 1/3 has been built already. And here you see Maharshi's house, the biggest wooden house in Europe. And so we are building here a campus now with the College of Ayurveda and the Clinic for Ayurveda. And from here, we administer all the knowledge of the courses that Maharshi has developed with the great teams of scientists for the whole world. So this is Meru, Maharshi European Research University. In Vastu city planning, great emphasis is laid on planting the trees along the road, even before the houses are built, because trees need a longer time to grow up them than houses. And we are building many peace palaces around the world to administer this knowledge and give courses. This is now a picture of a building that was built a few years ago in Erfurt, Germany. That is also close to the Brahmastan. Brahmastan is a central point of a country, but also of a building. These are other buildings from different countries of the world. This is here in Spain. This here is a wonderful office building near Washington. If you go to USA, you can see the building. You know, it can be very modern with a lot of glass. And this is the lobby here of the building. Few hundred people are working here in this building. They're very fortunate. This is another commercial building in Fairfield, Iowa. And so the summary, it is obvious that the knowledge of all these values, proper Vastu buildings, the influence of the planets and the stars, transcendental meditation, the simple scientifically proven technique to experience pure consciousness, a rest that is twice as deep as during sleep, and the brain is completely enlivened, and becoming coherent and orderly is very important for the growth and progress of our life. Even proper diet, daily and seasonal routines, as we explained earlier, and the knowledge of all 40 values of the Vedas and Vedic literature are absolutely essential of life. There is an institute of Vedic architecture and city planning here at Maharshi European Research University, and we are providing services to evaluate the site. The most important thing is to find the proper land. The sunrise should not be delayed. The first rays of the sun, they're very auspicious and they give a very positive energy. They should touch the east entrance of the building not later than 12 minutes after sunrise. Then we are doing the design of the building consultation, so people can actually work with their architect, you know, to get the building permit and to get all the tenders and so on. And then we coach them also for the pre-design of the house, the custom design, and also the master planning. Now, I just, before we come to the question part, I just like to review what we have all done and learned. We just got a glimpse, basically. In our first lesson, we talked about consciousness-based business and management, about the benefits of transcendental meditation for the individual and for corporate life. And then we have explained in lesson 2 how the technology of consciousness, how does it work, transcendental meditation. In the lesson 3, we talked about Ayurveda, its fundamentals, and we also gave already some practical tips. Then in lesson 4, we have gone deeper into Ayurveda. We were considering diet and nutrition and daily and seasonal routines. And in lesson 5, last lesson, we have talked about how to remove the toxins, the ama, and how to promote longevity with the help of rasayanas. And there are herbal products, rasayanas, but there are also mental approaches, which are also rasayanas to prolong our life. And today, finally, we talked about the Vedic astrology a little bit and Vedic architecture. I'd just like to mention that I have written a book of my life with Maharshi, The Blessings of Maharshi, the wonderful stories of my life, where I give many, many examples about how Jyotish, the prediction, the science of past, present, and future really helped in my life and helped many, many other people. I also explain here the value of yagyas based on my personal experience, and also about Sthapatya Veda and research. So many areas of Vedic knowledge are covered in the book in the form of stories. And I'm very happy to tell you today that just a few days ago, I signed a contract with Mutital Bandirdas publishing house in India. So the book will be published very soon also in India. And here again, as usually, but this time you have some different websites. I leave it for a moment. You can take a screenshot, and then you have the websites for Transcendental Meditation, for Jyotish, for Vastu, for the Corporate Development Program in India, and also my personal website. Thank you so much for attending. It was a really great, it was really a wonderful delight for me to share this Vedic knowledge with all of you learners. And I hope that you have benefited from that. And I'm very happy now to take questions.
Thank you so much, sir. Indeed, it was a lesson where we have again got quite a lot of insights on our own things that probably we have long lost connect with. And I see the same curiosity within our learners too. So dear learners, the forum is open now for you all. I see you have few queries that you want to highlight it to sir. So he shall be taking up. I would request you guys, if you have any question, to put it up in the chat and sir will take the queries.
Will you read the questions to me?
Sure, sir.
Yeah.
So, okay, we have one question. So it is said, like, basically on the other part of the session where we were talking about the architecture and like Vastu, right? And how does that help? So obviously you have been in India and, it was really great to have interacted with you also at CUL. And you have also seen some parts of the India, how densely populated it is, right? So when we are talking about Vastu designed houses, here our learner has put up question. Sunlight practically can't touch the east entrance of the building in a highly populated country like India. What is the solution for that?
Well, you see, if you are looking for a new flat, for example, then you can look in Google Maps, and you can Google Earth, and then select the entrance, select the building which is properly oriented. There are not many, but you will find some, You see, there is a magnetic field around the Earth. It's called the Hartmann grid. That is a physical reality. And if the buildings are on the grid, it has a positive influence on our brain physiology. So that is the first thing, if I would look for a flat. And then you will find some. And then you choose the flat which has a pure east entrance, or a pure north entrance, And if you want to build a house, then you should go to a Sthapatya Veda architect. And I would really recommend an architect that has been trained by Maharshi University, because in India, too many compromises have been made. And we don't make compromises when we build new. So we can help you to select a site, and we can help your architect to develop the design. And I know that, of course, many buildings are wrong in the world today. And this contributes to many problems and chaotic situations in society. And I just can tell you from my own experience, it works 100%.
Thank you so much for answering that, sir. Also, along with that, I see people are really intrigued with the Vastu Shastra, the entire thing. So there is one more question, very interesting actually. Especially, I believe people are associated with so much of workload and rest of the stuff. Sleep seems so important. So they're saying, as per Vastu, is that sleeping position of the head is also important. So would you like to throw some light into it?
I didn't understand the last part of the question. Can you say it again?
So, sleeping, as we say, right? After a long day, we need to have a good sleep. So they are
Yeah.
saying that sleeping is also associated with Vastu. So can you
Yes.
throw
Yes, of
some light
course.
on it?
Yeah. That's very good. So the best thing is to sleep with our head in the eastern direction. And we should avoid sleeping with our feet to the south. So these are two principles. If you can't sleep to the eastern direction, don't sleep with your feet to the south.
Okay, so I have one question for you now.
Yes.
So, just, having understand all of this thing, and, I'm really thankful for you or to shed lights on all of this thing. However, just want to understand, if at all, we tend to move in a house which is not built as per the Vastu thing that you are saying, right? Then what to do? What is the best can, for maybe I cannot move out of that house right now, but what best I can do being there?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's difficult to really give an advice. We know what is best, but sometimes circumstances don't allow us to have the ideal thing. And so maybe you can try on the long run to have something better. These are the laws of nature, and we cannot manipulate the laws of nature. And if people knew the influence of the directions, on the long run, we have to build the whole cities new. That was Maharshi's plan. And he has designed a plan how to do that. And what he said is, we start building around the big cities like a green belt, where we have lots of trees and a lot of green, and we build the houses, and then we start to demolish the buildings as we move to the inside and build new houses. So there will be a lot of things that can be done in future. But if we consider all the problems that we are facing in the world today, we have to go by natural law. And there is no compromise. And the Vastus, they are the laws of nature. They were cognized by the rishis. And now we have seen, there were just a few studies, but the scientific research, as far as the brain physiology is concerned, and as far as, these robberies are concerned and being protected from fires, we really see that it works. So we just have the desire. And then when we have the desire, then nature will work to fulfill our desires.
It's like leave it to the universe and change the house and get a better Vastu house, right?
Yeah, but you see what is always helpful, even if we just practice transcendental meditation, when we experience every day twice this inner peace, which is called in Vedic literature samadhi, Satchidananda. This is not a theory, it's not a philosophy, it's a practical thing. And with transcendental meditation, we can experience that. And when we meditate, our wishes will be fulfilled more quickly. Because what we experience in transcendental meditation, the pure consciousness, that is what modern physics has identified with the unified field of all the laws of nature. And if we start to have desires, evolutionary desires from that level, then nature will provide us circumstances that we can fulfill our desires more easy. So that would be the main recommendation.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. It indeed was a really insightful session for all of us. And I think over a period of time, what all things you have explained, right from the very beginning of the series that we have started, giving us a glimpse of the importance of transcendental meditation, how it should be done, and all the insights that you have focused on, So I believe that it will definitely help our students since we provide management studies. and most of our learners go to corporate. But coming back to this particular region and having understood that, there is this particular stream or the branch of studies that will help you to cleanse yourself, your mind, and let go all of that thing that has happened in office. I
Yeah.
think this all very beautifully explained by you. And we are indeed really blessed to have you in this platform and sharing your experiences with our learners.
Yeah, I can see here there are more questions. I have shortened my presentation because Professor Sophia, and I'm very grateful for her to take this initiative and, guiding us through that process. And she asked me to shorten my lectures because there is a major interest from the students to have the opportunity to answer questions. So we still have some 10 minutes, I believe, to answer questions.
Yes.
And I see here the first question is, what is waiting for the right muhurta, business losses in business opportunities? So if I can just continue with this question.
Sure, sir.
So muhurta is that moment that is auspicious, that brings us good luck, where the planets are in the signs which are auspicious. And the muhurta is also calculated taking into account the individual horoscope. And if we have a business decision to take, or if we start a new company, we should go to the Jyotishi and ask him to calculate for us the good muhurta. And I have done that. And even now, I'm creating a new company next week. And I had to wait a couple of weeks to get a good muhurta where the time is suitable. And we signed a contract at the notary's public place within a range of 10-15 minutes. And I have seen over the 35 years that I was lucky and I contributed also to the muhurta. So I hope this answers the question. Shall I go to the next question?
Sure, sir.
Okay. So a business has been successful, even though the entrance in the south. Okay. Well, you see, there are many facts in life. Vastu is not everything, and the stars are also not everything. It depends on so many factors, but it has a big influence, So it would just support, Some people have a good horoscope, whatever they do, they are successful, but it's something that is enhancing our success and our good health. So sunlight particularly can't touch the eastern entrance of the building. Okay. So that we discussed about. The next question is, somebody missed the previous lessons. Are they available? Yeah, you can say something where they are available, please.
Yes, so obviously, learners, do not worry about the previous sessions that you have missed. The links will be shared by your concerned mentors to all of you.
Yeah.
So you will have the entire series that Sir has spoken about.
Yeah. Yeah, the PDF is not available of the lectures, but you can review the videos. How long the literature of Veda for Marathi people like us? I don't understand that question. Then the next question is how to remove ama, the toxins of the body. It's a big topic, but just to give you some major advice, there are water-soluble toxins. Ama means undigested food or toxins. And we can remove the ama. Ama is creating, especially in the later parts of our life, many diseases, but even at the youth, when we constantly eat the wrong food. So we eat not in between meals. We should wait for the previous meal to be completely digested. And then we sip boiling water. I mean, it has cooled down and it's hot, but it should have been boiled. And you can take a thermos flush, but you shouldn't drink the water half an hour before meal or 1.5 hours after meal. And then during the day, you can be sipping like other people drink tea or coffee, hot water. You can do it maybe even for a week or 10 days and not eat meats in between. That's already a lot that you can do. And for the more severe toxins, the fat-soluble toxins like pesticides and herbicides, Panchakarma, the Ayurvedic purification therapy, is recommended. And there are more informations on the previous talks about it. Okay. Just a moment. Sleep position we talked about. Please explain the brain parts related to the 12 houses. You have seen it in the slide, you know, the left hemisphere of the brain and the right hemisphere, and how the 12 houses are divided for the different parts of the brain. So it's a very interesting chart. You can maybe rewind later on to listen to that part again. Okay. Okay, we have discussed what happens to bad Vastu. I have purchased a new house with entrance at east. Please tell how to keep good energy and remove all bad energy. Yeah, I think the main thing would be to meditate regularly. That gives you really a big protection if you meditate, you know, it improves your life in all areas. Congratulations for having bought a house with an east entrance. That's very good. Mirror positions in house should be there at what Vastu? That's a very detailed question. And I must say, I'm not an architect. I don't know about the mirrors, but I have seen that it plays a role also. And yantras, of course, yantras are used in India traditionally for curing bad effects. I know that. And I think ask some experts that you find in your area around it. I know that in India, many compromises are made. And I have seen in India, in recent years, I think through Maharshi's enlightenment of Sthapatya Veda in the West, also in India, it became more popular. And I have seen in the big newspapers where they put the advertisements, then they have sections for non-Vastu and for Vastu. So it's coming back. But in Maharshi Vastu, we don't make compromises. You know, it has to be really proper. Okay, so speak in Hindi, please. I'm sorry, I can't speak Hindi. Okay. Is Singh affected our life? Is Singh, what is this puja? What is it? Don't understand the question. From puja, Sangolka, is Singh, does she mean singing affecting our life?
Probably even I cannot infer what
Okay.
does she really mean to, but
Yeah, singing is giving us a good mood, and it's good to be singing, you know, especially if we have bad feelings, it helps us. And there are joyous moods, and the best music actually is Gandharva Veda. We could give a lesson just about the effect of Gandharva Veda, the ancient classical music from India, which is changing through the different cycles and the different positions of the sun during the day. We hear different rhythms. And the listening of Gandharva Veda was researched, for example, with the growth of plants. When plants hear Gandharva Veda, they grow more strong and more beautiful. And even the leaves, they go towards the loudspeakers. Also good influence has classical music, but not as strong as Gandharva Veda. And heavy metal music is hindering the growth of the plants. A lot of study about the effects of sounds on our system. The next question was, is meditation a help for us to clear vision? Of course, and intuition, absolutely. It's the best tool, because what meditation does, it gives us the deep rest, which is twice as deep as during sleep. And all the stresses and fatigue in the system, they get released. And our intuition comes better, our creativity improves. So that is the most precious of all the Vedic technologies. Okay, where to get correct Vastu and astrology knowledge courses in Pune, India. I have shown you a website, and I asked you to make a screenshot. So you can go to this website and also ask to get a colleague here in India, what we recommend. Maharshi organization also is providing Jyotish consultations and Vastu consultations in India. Are Vedas the words of God or written by ancient rishis? Both is true. Vedas are the sounds. Vedas are the primordial sounds of creation. And the Vedas are not created by men. In the Veda, it says they are Paurushaya, that means they're non-created. They are eternal, and they are created by God. And the rishis, that means the seers who had this enlightened consciousness, they were cognizing the sounds. And the oral tradition through the Vedic recitations has maintained it since ancient times, but it was written down only a few thousand years ago. So the Vedic knowledge is the highest knowledge in the world, and that helps us to improve our life, if we apply it. Yoga, yoga is defined by the great Rishi Patanjali. Yoga chitti fritti nirodha. That means the settling down of the mind. That is the experience of yoga. And the postures, they can prepare us and help us, but yoga is the experience of the pure consciousness. And if we enfold our consciousness, we start to enliven this Veda also within us. Vastu works for business buildings like schools and colleges, absolutely, and also for living houses, yeah. And we have seen that when houses are shifted to Vedic architecture buildings, companies, they are more successful. And I tell you, I'm running for more than 30 years. I have shown you the pictures, this beautiful clinic, which used to be the Emperor's Palace. And now I'm handing over to the next generation. And we want to build a Vastu clinic nearby, because we have seen in our personal lives what a big difference it makes to live in proper Vastu. Is cold water good for removing toxins? Cold drinks are not good in general. So for strengthening our Agni, our digestive power, it's better to have hot drinks. But in the summer, when it's really hot, if the water is pure, like from the source, it's also very good and very healthy. And we should drink enough water anyway. But in particular, to get rid of the toxins, the hot water is more helpful. Okay. What is the ideal time span for meditation? The main thing is to do it regularly. And as transcendental meditation practitioners, we don't have to spend a lot of time on that. 20 minutes in the morning and 20 minutes in the evening is good enough. And Maharshi said, spend 5 days in the bank and the whole day in the market. So we don't have to be a long time in the transcendental consciousness, Even if we dive for a short time when it's very hot in the summer in the water, we come out refreshed. So 20 minutes in the morning and 20 minutes in the evening is advisable. So I think I have gone through all the questions that you have had. And the time is running out. And I thank all the students for participating, for sending so many beautiful questions. And I would like to thank again the organizers of Dr. Patil, and also Dr. Patil and Madam Dr. Patil, for their great vision to introduce a glimpse of Vedic science to the business administration students. And I hope we will continue next year, and we can go deeper. We can go deeper into the knowledge. I just gave you a glimpse of what is available, a small glimpse. Thank you one more time again.
Looking forward, sir. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I will just quickly like to invite our director, ma'am, if she's there. I'll just give me a moment, sir. So we have ma'am with us. So yeah, we would invite ma'am for the final words to you for this particular season.
So it was really a very wonderful session for all of us, and it has given a lot of insight to all my colleagues, to all my staff, as well as to all my students. And we are really blessed to have you. And this series of 6 Vedic management, we have learned a lot, and definitely we are going to continue this with the new year. And on the behalf of the entire staff and the students, thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you also. It was a great joy and great pleasure. Namaste and all blessings and good wishes to you individually and also to Dr. Patil University. Namaste.
Namaste, sir. Bye. Good day, everyone.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, Lothar sir. Hope to see you soon.
Thank you. Bye.